There are two more things you need to do. One thing is a print sharpening. You're going to apply a sharpening to your image so that when ink gets sprayed onto the surface of the paper, it has a clear sharpness, but it's really subtle, and sometimes it's just really difficult to see in the level buds. I just want to give you the proper process of applying the print sharpening procedure. If you're familiar with Lightroom, in the Lightroom print module, you have to apply a print sharpenings, either low or standard or high. And then also it asks you to choose if it is a matte surface versus glossy surfaces too. Glossy surface requires less sharpening, whereas matte surface absorbs more inks, so it requires a little bit more sharpenings basically. And that is what you're going to do in here. That output sharpening has a method, which is pretty straightforward. And I'm going to show you the method. You simply go to Filter, Sharpen, and Unsharp Mask. And in this window, I will zero everything. Formula is start with radius. This picture's resolution is 240. So the radius, I will put hundredths of my resolution, 2.4. 2.4. So if your resolution of your image is 300, you should put 3 pixels for radius. If your resolution is 360, then you should put 3.6. So it's pretty straightforward there. I know this picture's resolution is 240, so I'll put 2.4. That's a starting point. I tend to look at my image at either 50% zoom level or sometimes 100% zoom level. 50% zoom level kind of gives you the sense of viewing distance, arm length kind of viewing distance. So that may be helpful instead of looking at this at 100%. And around, from my experience, between 25 to 50 is where you usually like to fall into. And if you go preview before and after, there is a point where it starts to pop the edges, and then it's probably very difficult to see it with the projection. So I'm going to zoom in, which I usually don't do. Do you see the difference? Very, very subtle difference. This is without sharpening. And this is with sharpening. Do you see it? This is without, and I click onto that. This is with. Just a little bit. And again, it falls between 25% to 50%. If you go over 50% to see that pop, slight contrast pops up, you may be overdoing it too. So it's around 25 to 50. And then I'm going to say OK. So the sharpening is applied too. And then we're going to do a soft proofing.